They no longer have dignity, no human dignity, no self-esteem. They are a victim of their own product. And they do not see this. They are all blind. They do not know that they are their own victims. Because politics is a game. If you fail the game, you have to join the society. Get back to the society. Get yourself busy with other things, with business, or with a job in a company, or anything. But they won't. It is either today they are local government chairmen, they are governors, senators, minister, commissioner. If they cannot be any one of these, or if they cannot occupy any one of these positions, then they stay at one corner and look for something somehow to make themselves relevant, so that somebody that is occupying one position or the other will look for them to pay them. Politics is the most lucrative profession, in quotes. Politics is not supposed to be a profession, but in the zoo, it is a profession. Politics is the most lucrative profession in the zoo, because that is where everybody go to steal and have the backing of the government. Because after all, they are the government, they make the laws. So if they cannot occupy any of these positions, or maybe they do not have enough popularity to influence anything and make anybody to come and pay them, then they become political thugs or support political thuggery. One way or the other, they just want to get into that business that pays so much at the expense of the people. So Timothy Silva, being a man from the coastlands of Biafra, being an Izon man, a man from the place that is bleeding every day as a result of oil exploration and oil spillage all over our rivers, our lands, and what have you. Knowing all this put together, he is still the one with the face of this calamity called the PIB. He's the one whose face is being portrayed when Fulani want to destroy you. They will look for your own and sample before you, so that you have nothing to say. You will not be able to explain to the world that this evil was done to you by foreigners. That is the reason whenever we call for referendum or freedom or whatever, they will tell you, don't you have people in the National Assembly? Don't you have representatives? Let your representatives present it in the House. Why? Because they know that they have these people under their control. The rest of the people are crying, give us referendum. We are not Nigerians. We want to determine our fate. But on the other hand, what will they do? They will say, no. These few people that we have here in the National Assembly that were forced to occupy these positions, they are the representatives of the people. So if they have not spoken, it means that the people have not spoken. That is a deception. But those people are not patriotic to their own people. They are not the voice of the people. In fact, in the politics of the zoo, you lose your voice once you begin to mingle with zoo politics or zoo politicians. The first thing you lose is your voice, your relevance. When I say you lose your voice, you lose your true voice. Every other thing that you will be saying is deception. You cannot represent your people. You cannot represent your people. Once you get involved, once you step your foot there, then you will be consumed by deception. You will know that you're deceiving your people, but you have no choice. It is either you accept the position where you get this money, or you pull out. And when you pull out, you become part of the people, and your voice no longer counts. Except maybe you've you're once a governor or a president. Even at that, if you're no longer occupying any position, your voice will no longer count. Nobody looks at your face. Meanwhile, at the period when you were governor or whatever, you must have soiled your hands, so the people do not even trust you. They will ensure they discredit you before your people first. They destroy your image. How can somebody that has occupied a political position and he's a disgrace before his people, he has maltreated his people, stolen their wealth, and did nothing while he was occupying that position, then he's coming out and crying foul? Nobody will listen. But the first thing that they will do is to make you to choose. It's either you choose the money they offer and be a slave to the system, or you stay away and still have no voice. That is the reason IPOB came together. That is the reason Mazi Kanu is our voice. And Radio Biafra is our channel. Because there is no voice anywhere. All the politicians are all the same. And prior to when IPOB came, when these people, when they noticed, they tried it with IPOB, but they failed. When they noticed any freedom fighting organization, what do? They try to, once it starts becoming the voice of the people, they try to ensure they buy you off. And you become like them. That is what they did in the coast. Many of those that took up arms against the government were bought off. Today, they are politicians. They may not be politicians that stand for political positions, but they are political thugs. Even some of them stand for political positions and are occupying political offices, while the rest are political thugs and receive contracts from the government. How can they talk? They no longer talk. Now they are used to quell the people. They are used as a weapon against their own people. That is why you see that in the coast, people are afraid to talk. Many people are wondering, why is it that this thing that we're doing, many people in the coast, they are not talking. Is it that they don't want freedom? What? They are afraid. There are camps all over the coast handled by these ex-militants that took the bribe called amnesty. Knowingly or unknowingly, they took that bribe. And many of them now are now the people handling pipeline contracts to protect the pipeline that the enemy put on their land for the benefit of the enemy. So this is their contract. Their contract is to protect enemy property on their own land. Don't forget. So how do you expect it? And these people are being paid. It is now their job. That is a contract given to them, just like contract to develop roads are given to politicians instead of the businessmen to settle politicians. That is what is going on. So these people are all over. They are part of the people. They are within the system. They are the ones that control the streets. You must get that clear. They control the streets. They are everywhere in the system. So people are afraid to talk. If I talk, these talks can be used to fish me out and eliminate me, and nobody will even know. That is why you must value anybody from the coast that is speaking out on this struggle. Any single person you see from the coast that is speaking out, mostly those on the ground, they are very bold. Because, like for instance, in the hinterland, there are no people of that nature that command good number of thugs that are under government payroll. When I say good number of thugs that they pay them, we don't have such in the hinterland. But in the coast, we have it in abundance because of the previous struggle, the struggle for resource control. When many of these people fell, when they fell to the deception of amnesty, they became government property. God forbid. Just imagine, as strong as IPOB is in Biafra land, then IPOB entirely, I don't mean some few group of people, I mean the whole structure now buy into becoming or now buy into Nigerian system and start operating. Who in Biafra land will be able to speak otherwise? Of course not. It will be very difficult. That is the reason that you see people in the courts are afraid. They are afraid to speak. Because they feel with the strength of those that are being paid around them and the strength of the zoo, now that the enemy is not only the zoo, the enemy is also those that are paid, the political thugs that are claimed to be ex-militants that know the pipelines and all of that are protecting it. They don't just protect pipelines. They are under government payroll. Many of them are the ones that come out and shoot for politicians. There will be elections in the coast. You will see ex-militants stand for politicians on APC side, on PDP side, and they'll be shooting themselves and killing themselves. These people are now political thugs. They are under payroll. So this is what we have. But one thing I must assure people is that no matter the number of people that are under government payroll, they are not more than you. You must come out and talk. You must come out and voice out. Provided you are saying the truth. If it takes your life, it is worth it. After all, no man lives forever. You must be bold enough to come out, because it's possible some of them may not even know what they're doing, but when you come out and talk, they might realize themselves and pull out. But if you don't, they will continue. Many of them ignorantly selling our land to our enemies. So we must all come out and talk. We must all come out and talk. Now, I want to talk about some of the challenges that we're facing. Recently, I saw a news from the zoo that say that there's confusion in Ipob and all of that. But I want to tell our people something. We must learn. I know many of our people in the hinterland may not understand the things that actually happened in the coastlands of Biafra. But I will explain to you now, so that you will learn. So that you will understand. Because if you do not understand what happened to the resource control movement, it will be difficult for you to understand how these people are trying to channel their strength to destroy the movement for the restoration of Biafra. It is the same people. The people in the coast, the people in the hinterland are the same people. Think alike, the same ideology. So, if a particular system worked for the people in the coast that were agitating for resource control, they believe that it will also work when the people of the hinterland are in a greater number in such a movement. Even though the movement is not only in the hinterland, it is all over Biafra land. But the people in the hinterland are in greater number. The same people, the same DNA, the same formula. So we have to learn. And what are we to learn? We have to learn what brought about the fall of the era of militancy, as it was called by the zoo. When our people decided to take up arms and demand for what is ours. What brought about that fall was division. Division. When Obasanjo came to Iguacha, pretending to want to discuss with Asari Dokubo, because as at then, Asari Dokubo, who was the IYC president, was becoming a very strong uniting force for the coastal movement and ideology of resource control. He was becoming a centralized force. In fact, he had already succeeded in centralizing his force all over his own land at least, and already had influences beyond his own land in the coast. Even though there were other people around, like Ateke, I think Tompolo, but he was already, initially they were having issues. In fact, they were fighting each other. Himself with Ateke, he now had understanding with Tompolo. Then at the point in time, they realized that why are we killing ourselves? We're brothers. We are not our enemies. Let us come together and fight those that are truly our enemies. And they were already having peace. After Ateke already had peace. Don't forget, he already had understanding with Tompolo. So he was actually uniting the force together to become one. And Obasanjo, being the president of the zoo at the time, noticed it. So what did he do? Obasanjo came and told Asari Dokubo, yes, come, let us discuss this matter. Because Asari Dokubo was very hot then, very hot. So let us discuss this matter. Let me take you to Abuja, let us discuss it. As Asari Dokubo agreed to go, that was it. It was a deception. He was locked up. As Asari Dokubo was locked up, then they did not have much weapons and everything to fight. Just one or two little things that they were using to make some points. When the weapons came, the people to pay for it were not available. The boys became independent and collected it, and everybody went home and started the movement from their own houses. All the boys, all the lieutenants he had gathered became independent. So nobody was able to speak for anybody anymore. Afterwards, after a while, when the boys can no longer listen to Asari Dokubo was released. And Asari Dokubo became a shadow of himself till today. Of course, they still have a little respect for him for the fact that they once listened to him, but not anymore. The boys became independent and scattered. Many of them went to Biafra, established their own different camps. Everybody went to his community and established camps. It was no longer a single force. It became just an ideology that everybody was fighting. Like what somebody is propagating concerning the Biafra movement now, that was exactly how it turned to. Which they call autopilot. Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. That thing called autopilot is very, very dangerous. I want Biafrans to understand that once you begin to believe in autopilot and follow autopilot, you are actually heading to destruction. You might feel you have strength today, let everybody go their way and exercise strength. No. Autopilot is very dangerous. Forget it. You might have your different opinion. I also do. Might have a different opinion about different people. You might even have your own opinion about me. But there is something we must protect, our oneness. The doers may not be doing everything right. but our oneness. If today the DS come and say, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said we should call off boycott as the DS did, and it is called off immediately, boom, and everything returns to normal. Do you know what message that is sending? That these people do not have a mind of their own. Their mind is Biafra. Get it? When your enemy knows that you remain one irrespective of the challenges, your enemy will be afraid. Your enemy will become afraid. There is something that we must understand. The head of the DS and the executives and all that and all the members, because I am a member, but I will not say I have so much influence. Of course I won't. But mostly the head of the DS, this is on his shoulders. If at the end of the day anything collapses, obviously he will not be able to run away from Biafrans. He must understand that. Where in the world is he going to run away from? Where in the world is he going to run away to? This movement is already a force, a massive force. God forbid it that it fails. It will be on the head of the DS. And we must understand that what is happening, he has to take certain decisions. And we have to respect his decision. We may not agree, we might debate, but we have to obey his decision. We have to obey the decision of the DS. Because if things fail, they will have to answer to Biafrans. This movement have not failed. It is just one order that came from our leader. And I, as an individual, I have asked many questions. I have done my survey to an extent. And to a great extent, I believe the order is actually coming from our leader. Even if the order is not coming from our leader, it doesn't mean that we should allow fracas to come in between us. But I'm quite convinced it is coming from our leader. And obviously, we on the ground may not know what our leader is facing or the things that are going on and why he may not want this at this particular time. Yes, it is yielding results. I remember coming on air to talk about how much of a result it is yielding. But our strength is our oneness. For the fact that we call for a lockdown. Remember, this wasn't supposed to be a sit at home. It's a lockdown. We called for a lockdown. And it happened. And a counter order came from our leader. It is good that still us obey the counter order first, because command and control is obey before complain. And because of a different attitude. If you watch, our enemies are no longer talking about there should be no sit at home, because they are losing something in the sit at home, but our division is gotten to them, is much more important to them than the sit at home. We being divided is good to our enemies. So our enemies will even sponsor people to ensure they sit at home, so that while up there the DS is saying don't sit at home, people here are saying we must sit at home. You understand? While the DS is saying, or the leadership structure is saying, oh, don't sit at home anymore. Go about your business. Some people are saying we must sit at home. So, provided that division is there, the enemy is happy. And if we allow this division and this bad blood to continue, if we allow the division and the bad blood to continue amongst us, the enemy might succeed in breaking the family. If we allow the enemy to break the family and begin to bring out factions, then we have helped the enemy in weakening our forces. Even though we become two, it will never be like when it is one. The struggle for resource control in the coast failed when they accepted amnesty. Majority of them, if not all of them, not majority, all of them, I'm an Izoman, we are the ones at the center of that movement. So I know what I'm talking about. I knew most of these people one-on-one. One-on-one, even though I wasn't part of it. But I knew many of them. Many of them, or if not almost all of them, or if not all of them, knew that amnesty is not the way. I remember many people saying, I remember one of them in video saying that if the zoo doesn't do what they said that they are going to do, that people, that even his grandchildren are still going to rise to fight this battle. Because he knows that is not the solution. Of course, who doesn't know the zoo? Can the zoo change? What are they promising? Development. Since Yoradua time when amnesty was accepted, where is the development in the coast called Niger Delta? By the zoo. Where is the development? There is no development anymore. Anywhere. The oil multinationals that were here, have they returned? No. None of them have returned. They operate from Lagos. Our seaports, have they made them? No. In fact, they keep destroying and weakening them every single day as much as they can. Have we got anything after then? Nothing. The zoo will not change. But why did they accept it? Many of them knew that this thing that they are accepting is not what they came out for. But why did they accept it? Because they knew they were not united enough to fight in a full-blown war. Because the zoo had declared that if they do not accept amnesty, it will be a full-blown war on our people. And they know they will not be able to defend our people. You know how the zoo fights their war. The zoo doesn't fight war. What the zoo fights is genocide. What the zoo does is genocide. They don't go to those that have arms. They go to the weak and begin to kill your people. And it is your people that begin to shout, what are you people doing? They are killing us. What are you people doing? Stop it. They are killing us. They are killing you. All of us to die before you will rest. How can you fight a war in that manner? But if they were united, if the zoo had said that, they would have said, come on, we can take these people out. Let us stand them. If it is full blown what they want, let us give it to them. They would have done that. Because they have not gotten what they were asking for. That was where the struggle got to. They had to decline. Why? There was no unity. So, identity can take you to a particular place. Only unity can give you what you want. Unity is key. Do I trust everything? No. But I trust unity. Do I trust everyone? No. But I trust unity. After all, people with so much believing have betrayed this cause before. So why should I trust everyone? Because the person has been there for long? No, I wouldn't. But our unity is key. We cannot jeopardize our unity for anything. Now the mantle is on DS. If DS make wrong decisions, or the head of DS make wrong decisions, and this struggle fails, it is on him. You have to understand how responsibilities are being carried. Yes, the people said we want to continue to sit at home. After all, the sit at home ideology came from the DS. It came from us in the DS. Okay, now you're sitting at home. He said, okay, we want to continue to sit at home. But now the DS is insisting that no, let us no longer sit at home. We have gotten a counter order. Let us not sit at home anymore. Welcome back. Sorry for that little break in transmission. So, as I was saying, the judges have said, okay, let us call this off and all of that. We have to work together and call it off. If the DS or probably maybe the head of the DS are playing a game on us and all of that, if they are playing a game on us and anything happens to our leader, it is on their head. It is a risk that they are taking. It is a risk that the head of the DS is taking. Okay? And this risk, he is in the position and he should be the one to decide. The head of the DS and the rest of the executives. It is a risk. I do not believe that If the message was not clearly given and the head of the DS is not so sure he received this message, because he's the one that came and told us yes, he received the message. So if he's not so sure he received this message, I don't think he will come out and say it. But there is one thing. The enemy wants to break us. We should not forget. There is something the DS can never tell you to do, and that is to vote. The DS can never tell you to vote because it is very, very true that our leader said it, that there will be no election in Anambra, and it will be enforced. So, the DS cannot come tomorrow and tell you that our leader said that the election should go on. There are certain things we have to know. If that happens, then we can have the right to question the integrity of the DS. But this is at home is the ideology, is the idea of the DS. We're not sure if it went down well with our leader, but the information came that he's not in support. And we run this movement by command and control, or else we wouldn't have been able to get to where we are today. And every one of us must understand this. I know we are angry. I am even more angry than most of you on the ground. But we must protect our unity. We must protect this movement we have built. We have built this movement on our blood, on our sacrifices. We cannot afford to destroy it with emotions. Yes, we love our leader. We don't want to see any hurt come to him. We want to see him. We want the zoo to produce him. At least show us. Let us be sure he's alive. Of course. Of course. Now, there's something you must note when this sit at home or lockdown order was called. Immediately, they allowed our lawyers to go and see our leader. Immediately, they allowed our lawyers to see our leader to be sure that our leader is fine. Why did they do that? It was because they were sure that the movement is working out, and it might get out of hand if our leader no longer gets involved. If the lawyers are not able to see our leader, and our leader, because they know that it is our leader, we all know that our people would have gone haywire if not for the fact that our leader has been calming things, and he has been taking it gently and slowly. The zoo would have burnt a long time ago if not the fact that our leader has been taking things slowly, because he doesn't want too many of our people to die unnecessarily. So he's managing the issues slowly but steadily. And they had already seen that if our leader doesn't get involved, because initially they were not comfortable with the fact that the lawyers were coming to our leader, and our leader was still giving orders. But they saw it that if our leader doesn't give order, it might get out of hand. And even the politicians may not be alive to tell the story. So, they had to open doors for our lawyers to come in. Now, I know that in a movement like this, you don't trust anybody per se, but at least for you to be able to make certain progress, there are some people that have not given you reasons not to trust them. Some people have not given you reasons not to trust them. When you begin to show certain attitudes that you don't trust these people, it will begin to sound like, how do I even describe this? It will begin to sound like the sacrifice that these people are making to put themselves in this position is not worth it. Like the people are ungrateful because somebody must be a lawyer to our leader. We must have a lawyer to stand for his case. We must have good lawyers to stand for his case. But those lawyers are doing a huge sacrifice. They may not be IPOB members per se, but what they are doing is more than what millions of IPOB members may not be able to do. To face the zoo, to go to the zoo headquarters, face the zoo in the face, and do all these things. We all know what has been happening to one of our lawyers' families and people he has lost. So we have to give the leadership a benefit of doubt. Now, I am not talking as a member of the DS. I am talking as Tarinimi. I am talking as a citizen of Biafra. I am talking as one that has knowledge and knows how these things run. And you have to wait. What is more important to you? Is our unity more important than you trying to prove a point? Because I am observing what is going on. I am observing what the papers are writing. All the sit-at-homes now, to an extent, are almost becoming a little bit useless. They only affect the direct economy, but the media, it doesn't count in the media. When it counted was the first one that was an order from the leadership of IPOB. The whole media, even in Africa, were carrying it and say that, wow, the people are sitting at home because of their leader. Now nobody's talking about it. Yes, people are sitting at home. I have information that even today, some cities are still locked down. But nobody's talking about it. Why? Because it is no longer an order. What we must do is to actually allow things to go. Let things happen. Let everything go the way our leader said it should. While we continue to protest that we do not like it, that it should be the other way around. When we do that, when we obey before complain, that is the purpose. When they say obey before complain, that is chain of command. That is the principle of chain of command. Obey before complain. When you obey before complain, then your complaint will be heard. We can debate. I debate. If you ask other members of the DS, I debate against it. I said, no. This thing is working. We shouldn't call it off. But we have to understand our unity is our strength. We cannot afford to break that unity. We cannot afford to jeopardize that unity. Our unity is our strength. Once we lose that strength, we have lost a lot. I assure you. Once we lose that strength of our unity, we have lost a whole lot. We cannot afford to. If we lose that strength, we'll be weak before our enemies. They can begin to take us in chunks and crush us in chunks. Crush us in chunks. That is one thing our leader taught us. That one command, by one command, we will win. It doesn't matter if Chika Edozim have sold out or if anybody in the DS have sold out. Provided we remain one, they will still not be able to defeat us. Uchemefort, that was deputy, he sold out long time ago before he exposed himself. But did they defeat us? No, because we remained one. Even if the particular head have sold out, they will still not be able to defeat us. Why? We remain one. You must understand that the unity is the most powerful tool that we have built in this system. Our unity is the most powerful tool. Once we give them that opportunity to be able to break us as against order and emotions. Because now, what is prevailing now, what is making the people to see that hate in Biafra land is emotions. The people want to see their leader. Of course, that is what the DS promised. But the DS is not the highest command. Yes, we can argue and say our leader is in detention. We shouldn't take it. But that will be to the pleasure of the enemy. It will be to the pleasure of the enemy that we no longer take orders from our leader. Which means we are now telling the world that we can do without him. And when we let the world feel that we can do without Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, then they will prove it to us that they truly want to kill him. Then we are now going to realize what we have done. We cannot afford that. If the order came and said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that we shouldn't, then we shouldn't. Irrespective of how we feel, I don't like it, but that is what we should do. That is how we should do it. This is the greatest test that we have ever faced. Because when our leader was captured, was kidnapped in Kenya for 8 days, we heard nothing about it. Because we heard nothing about it, this has questioned a lot. There are lots of questioning concerning those that are supposed to be close to our leader. Mostly those in the DS that are close to him and receive direct order from him and all of that. And nobody knew. Nobody knew what happened to him. So there are lots of questions. Of course, there are lots of questions. But we cannot break what we have built because we have questions or because we seem not to trust one another. The enemy is doing all this so that we will not trust each other. And when we don't trust each other, we will begin to go against ourselves. Of course, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not out to say that, yes, I was the one that gave the order. But what if actually he's the one that gave the order? By refusing not to call off the sit at home, are you saying that you are consciously disobeying the order of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Of course, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is just one man, but by his orders we have gotten this far. by his leadership, we have gotten this far. It is not easy, but putting everything together, putting everything that we have to put together, every option, putting all the options. What if they have sold out? What if it is because they have sold out, that is the reason they are telling us not to call it off? This thing is working. How can he say that what is working for him, that it should be called off? Yes, all these questions are real. I have asked these questions myself. But these questions are not enough for us to destroy what we have built. They are not enough. We follow order, whether we like it or we don't. If you're one that has spoken with me off air, you will know that I'm not okay with it. Personally, I'm not. But our unity is key. We cannot break that. We cannot break our unity. Because however the zoo wants to do it, once they are able to break our unity, then they have been able to get into us. Then before you know it, other structures will begin to fail. Before you know it, they begin to attack ESN structures. This zoo, we are tactical. So we have to be smart. On this note, I'll be opening the lines. You know the line to call already. Most of you do. You can call now if you know the line already, but if you don't, I'll be calling the line, and you can only call us on Signal. The line to call is +45 7164 5962. I repeat, +45 7164 5962. I take it again, +45 7164 5962. This is the line to call on Signal. If you call this line, then you'll be able to get us. Okay? I know these things are things. Initially, I never wanted to talk about this sit at home and all of it. I didn't want to talk about it. But because initially I was thinking maybe it's not so important, but I have seen some reasons why we should. We cannot deny it. We must talk about it. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Your name and where you calling from?
Mazi, thank you for picking my call. Am I coming out clear?
Yes, you are. The world is listening.
Okay, Mazi Temi, thank you so much for picking my call. Your brother Mazi. I'm calling from Austria, and by the special grace of God, I am the IPOB National PRO. Mazi, please, before I proceed, allow me to use this opportunity to announce our upcoming protests that are coming on 9th of September. We, the Ipobians here in Austria, we are inviting you once again, please, our brothers from Oduduwa, and also our brothers from Ambazonia, and all of us of freedom. We are calling on you once again on 9th of September for a protest that we should keep on reminding the world and Austrian people that our leader Nnamdi Kanu is still in the hands of the DSS. The extraordinary rendition of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not what we are going to keep quiet. We must keep on alarming and protesting and letting the world know the heinous crime they have committed against our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So, therefore, my people, we are calling on you once again, please, those that are still at work, begin now to talk to your bosses in your working place. Try to please take free on 9th of September so that we can be able to come together once again to march in the land of Austria. And please, our meeting point is Schwarzenbergplatz. Most of us know exactly where this point is. The address once again is Schwarzenbergplatz 1030 Vienna. This is where we are going to meet. From there now we march to British Embassy and Zoo Embassy also. Yes, has been said that we keep on marching on in Kenya Embassy, and that is coming up again in the next. Our next protest is going to come when after this particular one we are having on 9th of September. Please, we are inviting everybody. We are inviting lovers of freedom. Come and join us that day on 9th, so that the world will hear our voice and still know that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has not been released. So, Mazi, I want to digress by your topic today. So I just came in let me say about 30 minutes ago. I don't really know this topic, but I want to say something that is on my mind concerning our people at home, most especially in Biafra land. Our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has given an order that we should go back to our normal business. We are not saying that those who willingly want to stay at home cannot stay at home, but let us obey this order, because we cannot do it individually. We can only do this in when all of us have put heads together to make sure that the structure of IPOB, which all of us believe on, and this command of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who God Almighty has given to us, the Biafrans, to lead us out of this zoological country called Nigeria that we find ourselves, we must put our heads together to do it. Please, our people, the order has been lifted. Go about your normal business until any other time you will hear what next to do. Don't allow anybody to frighten you. Don't allow anybody to put fear in you that you should be staying in your houses every Monday. The order has been lifted and we must obey this order. And another thing I want to say is that those trying to gossip about DOS or trying to lie against DOS, that DOS have done that, DOS have done. Please, these are the enemies of Biafra. My people, these people are coming again to put problems in our midst. It happened 2015 when our leader was arrested. The same people came up, some Form 3-4, some Form 2-4, they were fighting to make sure that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not come out of the prison. But to God be the glory that Elohim people of God said no, that this man has a dream, and this dream he has must surely come to pass. This time again is the second stanza of it. And we know we must overcome. Please, my people, let's join hands together to make sure that any order being given on behalf of my leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we will obey and be able to make sure we respect that order. And by the time we are doing this thing, it will give us a room to tell the world that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in charge. If you love him, if you don't want these people to do anything to our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, obey the order and instruction of the DOS. ordained by people Biafra. No evil fortune against us shall prosper, because we are the children of people Biafra. And no matter the plan of the Nigerian government, no matter the people that have faith to keep on causing trouble or to put division among us, their plan cannot work because they are not the one that said the IPOB. It was instituted by our leader Mazi Temi Remy through the help of Elohim. And no human being born of a woman can destroy IPOB. Thank you for picking my
Thank you very much, my brother. God bless
Thank
you.
you, Mazi.
God bless you.
Thank you.
The lines are open. And those that are calling for the first time, I have accepted you. You can call now and it will go through. Okay? It will call now and to go through. Yes, and somebody sent me a message and he said our leader was under duress when he called for the seat at home order to be called off. Well, that used to be my position, though many people try to convince me otherwise, but it doesn't matter. Let me take this call. I am going to explain what I mean. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. The name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, Mazi Temi Remy, good morning from Poland here. I remember Mazi Corona here, and wishing you a pleasant week ahead, and all Biafrans all over the world, fanaticals, men of valor, radicals. Our leader remains Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We love him. That's why whatever that is going on. Mazi, I don't want to talk too much. I'm happy the way you hammered on this issue today. But our people, we know that the problem we have is our own people. These are the people who are trying to form a parallel IPOB. They want to bring disunity. Then now you begin to ask yourself, you that claim you are fanatical, you are radical, you are men of valor, who are you following? Who did he hear his voice and enter the struggle? If you know you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and you feel his parents where he is now, why can't you just obey the simple instruction? And remember, this DOS is the Senate. This is our Senate in our government. And even when Nnamdi was free and going around places, do you think that he made decision alone? The answer is 101% no. These are the people he's working with. So whatever they're telling us, or whatever they've told us, we will follow, and we must stay on that queue and remain focused and talk less. Just do what you are told to do. We understand that there are some places that people did not go at, probably because of fear. But this message was circulated, have been announced everywhere. Why can't people just obey? Nobody knows what this man is going through. It's not everything that the US will come and say openly here. You know what is going through the Zoo government. And remember, he's making some requests. He's demanding to certain things. Assuming that Naha will okay, why are we disobeying? But Mazi, the people that are fermenting this problem is our politicians, the so-called the Igbo billionaires, the SZs, the PGs. These are people that are trying to bring this unity. But they will go the other way. If you know you love Onyendo, in a very simple language, do what you are told to do. But if you are decided to sell your own, maybe you are tired, you don't want to go to work today, okay. But the instruction, this seat at home has been lifted. Just go your normal business. Our thinking will be discussing about the checkpoints that are taking place in Biafra land. As you can see that now that Onyendo is inside, they are trying to do everything, even to Islamize Biafra. You can see the idiot they want to install in the doorstep.
Yes.
When Onyendo was outside, you think this thing can happen on Mazi?
Of course not.
You think it can happen? Do you think that all this nonsense that look at checkpoint everywhere? Our people will leave what we're supposed to be discussing now, and they start deceiving us. Eh? Let us be focused and do the needful. Simple as that. The governors, all of them, everybody has mouths. That everybody think he can do whatever he likes. It's when now, sooner or later, one leader will come out. It's as simple as that. Much I have to leave it. I remain a chronic. And I'm focusing on my own, on radio. So very soon I'll come up. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. God bless you. The lines are open, and if you're calling, you can call now. Let me see if I can bring this caller in and try to reach. Hello.
Yeah, my brother, good morning.
Yeah, good morning from here, my brother. Your name and where you calling from?
Good morning. Good morning, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom. My name is Pastor Jack, coming from my location. First of all, this morning, I want to appreciate you for your program, and I also want to appreciate the entire Biafra. And I want to pay my mind to the ongoing sit-at-home and some of other things as we're experiencing. Yes, it is wise to. Order has been given from the highest authority of command that people should lift, that the sit-at-home has been lifted. And as we are meant to believe, the order was coming from this. And today, if you look through today in our entire land, you see that almost majority of our places still shut down today. That is just the reality of the ground.
Yes.
Now, I want us to see it from this perspective. If after our leader has been given, the other have come from the highest command, and people still choose to sit down, let us not scold anybody. Let us not go against anybody, because they have chosen to do that at their own will. Do you know what? These people, because I come from another perspective, these people have been followers of this great platform and the student of our leader over the years. And if on their own, after the first day, they repeated this the second time, they repeated this the third time. I believe, or I'm of the opinion, that you people up there should go and sit down and examine the reason why our people are doing this thing. Probably take a message back to your own. Because most of these things we don't need to talk them outside. But sometimes you need to say some things in order to be clear, so that in case something happens tomorrow, you know that some persons have said something that maybe they are objective, or you critically look at them or examine them. There must be reason why some of our people are still doing this, because principal officers are not the only great family members of this movement. They follow us. They also have determinant factors as comes to leadership. They also have to put them into consideration. Why have these people decided to continue after giving this order that this thing has been lifted? Why? It's a question that our leadership need to look into. Now, having considered that, because what I'm telling you this thing, if the whole Bihar, all this whole thing that is happening is aimed at allowing a
even if anybody does that, it will be an evidence to me that person has eaten money, that person has collected bribe to sell our movement. Nobody will ever think of doing anything in that light. Okay, it can never work. Okay. Election in Anambra is a no. It can never work except our leader comes out and he is free and is the one that says, okay, let us go for election. Because the last order he gave, or directly by himself when he's out, is that there should be no election in Anambra. Thank you. Continue.
Exactly. Now, because if you look at this whole thing, the politicians are playing their games. Now that our leader is in the hand of the enemy, those people there, has the government of Buhari made any promise of it? These people that place priority on our leader, that at all costs want him gone. At all costs, even because of this whole thing, thousands of our people have been massacred. And everybody sees. Do you think our people are not reasonable enough when they are making decisions? This is not just the issue of disobeying order. We are not seeing it from that angle. I just want to be objective. Some people should understand me this morning. Why is our people trying to snatch this order the first time in the history of this movement? Our people have sat down critically reason everything that they want to see our leader alive come out before anybody should come and say anything. So the whole thing, the whole channel is that this information came from. They should sit down and analyze this thing I'm not saying they should disobey the order, no. Analyze this thing and also take a lesson back to our leader. Now look at what our people are doing. Our people have remained different. They're facing that until they see him out. Because the politicians and our enemy, we give us, promise us heaven and earth. We know they will not have a place in their place again. And our people have been following this movement. Every person that has been in this movement more than a year, 2 years, 3 years, reaching 5 years to 7 years, is no more, in fact, has gone beyond PhD in this struggle.
Exactly.
So he should be able to read any movement anybody is making, even without knowing you.
Yes.
When you talk, when you do certain things, one can predict you.
That's true.
Because he has been in the movement for a very long time. So this is the perspective I'm coming from. So that because at the end of the day, because if we are not clear now, tomorrow somebody say, come and do an election, our people should not sit at home, maybe because they don't want APC to take over government. It's going to cause another problem. I'm telling you, because I make my own analysis and I like being vocal. I don't know how people will understand you or not understand, but I like being factual. So that when that thing will happen, you know that maybe you make mistake here. We did not address this situation to be addressed.
Kedu ife na-eme n'ọlụ Damira nọ n'ọsọ ọ bụ gịnị ka ị na-anụ Damira nọ n'ọsọ onye ọbụla nọ n'ọsọ Damira nọ n'ọsọ.
We should continue to sit at home. That is my personal debate. But the debate can continue while the order is being obeyed. And not just the order is being obeyed in the sense that whether people comes out or people doesn't come out. My ideology of the order being obeyed is that nobody is coming to be challenging and say that no, we must not sit at home. Another, if you want to sit at home, let it be a personal thing. You sit at home. Exactly. If you don't want to sit at home, you come out, you do your normal business. But it should not be an issue in the house whereby people start challenging each other, and it is as if, because my major interest is the impression it is giving to the international community, the impression it is giving to people outside. News is already carrying it that there is division in the house. That is the reason I'm doing this program. I have always avoided talking about this because my ideology is the order has been given. People that it now becomes your own personal opinion. Do you want to come out? Do you not want to come out? That one has nothing to do with the order. But the other things that it is creating, whereby people are beginning to challenge each other, people are saying no to this, no to that, different opinions. That is where I am actually after. That we should be with one mind. Okay, we must be focused because these are the fruits. This is how it begins. When people start challenging each other, this one will begin to suspect this one. Before you know it, boom, we have seen another faction, from another faction to another one, and if we have had factions before come out of this movement, but they have never succeeded. Yes. Because when they move alone. Yes. But with the way this thing is, if we keep plunging on this and plunging on this, and people want to have factions, they may not move alone. They might succeed in breaking the family, breaking the movement deep down and cut deeply down. And when that is done, we have helped our enemies to destroy ourselves from within. That is my focus concerning this, because this is how these people destroyed this movement in the coast for resource control. That is what they did. That's why we have to be smart. We have to be smart. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People have different opinions. Has this person betrayed? Has this person not betrayed? All those things, we don't really have facts to any of it. So those things should be kept in your pockets. It's your personal opinion. It should not begin to affect it should not affect the movement. Your personal opinion should not affect the movement. You should not use your personal opinion to judge the movement and begin to break the movement from within. Because once we allow that to happen, then we are all in for it. Because before you know it, now the enemy will take advantage and sponsor one person that will be talking in a way that will please the people, not knowing that he's an enemy. And before you know it, we already have two factions. Anything that will make us have another faction that will have a ground at home, then we are in a very deep shit. It is better we have one family and we have saboteurs within that family. With time, those saboteurs will come out, we'll fizzle them out, and I will plug them out, and they will move out alone. But if we allow our emotions and our ideologies to plunge on the movement itself, it may succeed in breaking the house. And when it does, we will not be able to revive it, because that breakage is going to come as a result of bad blood. And when this breakage comes as a result of bad blood, we will not be able to build back. The enemy will build from that strength and destroy us from within. Even when our leader comes out, it will become a difficult thing to handle. So that is why we shouldn't make this movement difficult for our leader to handle. When he comes back, if there are saboteurs, let the house remain. When our leader comes out, he will have the house to himself to handle the saboteurs the way he's supposed to handle them. But if we break it, when he comes out, then he's going to have a whole lot of work to do. You remember those people, when our leader was in the other time, those people that fell out, many of them did not come back to the family. Exactly. Few of them came back, but many did not. So you can imagine if those people had strength within, that they broke it successfully, that the family was actually broken into two. Do you think the people that followed them would have left them? It would have been difficult.
That is correct. That is correct. And that is why I support that opinion that no individual who is not among the leadership should call the shot from the outside. It's not acceptable. I've always supported that opinion. Just like our brother, they are talking about that. Go on social media calling shots. Whether you're a family member or you are not a family member, as long as you are not in the leadership, you have no right to call any shot on the behalf of this great family, because it's going to distract us. You might either be planted or not planted, but as long as you are not part of the leadership, don't call the shot, because it is not within your jurisdiction to call the shot. So maintaining that one central command is the best thing that can happen to us. But when we see that we are having fluctuation, we go back to the drawing table. Everybody have challenge.
Exactly.
Great organization, anywhere have challenge.
Exactly.
When you notice your challenge, you go back to the drawing board and say, why are we having this? Why are we having this? You put it together. You must arrive at something. There is no problem or challenges that don't have solution. They have. If you decide to look into them, you'll be able to arrive at a concrete solution that will put a stop to everything you see happen. But I pray God in His infinite mercy, He will continue to be overcoming and be victorious in all we do. God will see us through. God bless Biafra. Thank you, my brother.
You say, thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much for your call. That's a very wonderful contribution. That's a very wonderful contribution. Okay, the lines are still open. The lines are open and you can call in. Okay, for those that have been calling, there are many of us that have been calling, and some can see somebody have even called 16 times, but people are on air. People are already talking while the call was coming. So the lines are still open. You can call and give your contribution. Okay, like I was saying, it doesn't matter whether Mazi Chika who is the head of directorate today, whether he has betrayed or not betrayed. Even if he has betrayed, if the struggle remains one, even if he has, I'm not saying he has, I don't think he has, but even if, because as it is right now, apart from our leader, he's the most senior. So even if the most senior betrayed, if the struggle remains one, no betrayer will succeed. But when we help them to divide it, then they will succeed. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello, good morning, Remy. It's a regular caller, Mazi Nnamdi Amanambo from Mumeshi, one boss clan in Olo province, Biafra land. I'm calling now from United Kingdom of United Kingdom. That's in England. So I thank Biafra.
I think you need to reduce the volume of your radio set because my voice is echoing.
Okay. So I thank God for everything. Are you hearing me now?
Yes. Very well.
Okay. So, but I thank you for your presentation. Even Mazi Ikechukwu had have finished his own before you started now. The presentations are very, very to the order and to what is at stake. The issue at stake is a miss of understanding. There's a lot of things that are happening. That's what I made me to call now was the day this sit at home was annoyed. This is our arch enemy called Udele. I don't know if you saw what this man acted in the Facebook. The man was that boy was very, very mad. He said that the sit at home must continue. The sit at home must continue. He just removed his cloth and just threw it like this. Went inside and bring out a hot. You know, I called my wife, I called my friend that said, look at this man. That means there's something inside it. So why am I saying this very thing? Our people are very, very hard to handle. Immediately myself, I'm a very good listener and I'm a very good follower. I supported the sit at home and to go be the glory. The first one was very, 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 very encouraging, and the message has been passed. But we have the leadership of DOS who have come and said that Onyendu said that this very sit at home must call off. He has his reason, and the reason has been given to DS as well. And we cannot accept, we cannot expect DS to come out now and start to vomit everything out there. When I want to ask these people that are sitting this sit at home that are disobeying DOS, does it mean that it's only Nnamdi that is leading the group? Don't when we have even in the society now, even in the union, you have the chairman, you have the vice, you have the secretary, you have other people who are in the seat helping out. Does it mean that when the DOS Chike does the gentle giant, when he told the people that this is what he was told, nobody will listen to him. A lot of things have gone into the viral, has gone viral. When you go to Facebook, you say, DOS, they are dummy, they are sleeping on duty, they are government agents, they are working with DSS, they are doing this and they are doing that one. We have fought. But what I'm saying that, just like what you people have said, anybody that is doing it now, the sit at home, is doing it on his or her own accord. The sit at home has been called off. There's a reason for that. We the IPOB cannot afford to lose this very battle. We need the unity. Unity is our strength. Unity is our strength. Without unity, we cannot do anything. A lot of things happened even in the past, just like what you said. You said what to destroy the Niger Delta diversion is divided among themselves, and that is what the DSS want to do among us. I am praying, and I always pray that nothing will be in between us. No matter whatever they are doing, anybody who is sitting at home is sitting on his own. We welcome it, no problem. But saying that you are destroying the governing body of IPOB, the second in command of IPOB, the people who are there are not dummy. I have told them several times that I'm passing vote of confidence on the DASS because they are doing the right thing. It is not easy to lead. It's only somebody who have never been in the leadership of any group that will not know that leadership is very intoxicating. It can intoxicate you, it can shape you, it can make you go mad. It is only when you have your wisdom, you use their wisdom, you use the document the Lord has given to you to design and separate the wheat from the chaff. Exactly. So let them know that this very thing, this sit at home that was called off is for a purpose, and we must meet that very purpose. Let our enemy not divide us. Please, that's what I'm saying. Therefore, I thank you all, and I continue to pray that the good Lord will give us the strength to continue this struggle until we raise our flag. And all you do will be in the forefront to raise this very flag up, and we will fortify our city to the great glory of His holy name. He said, thank you, Daddy, for giving me the opportunity.
He said, thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you. The lines are open. There is somebody that has been calling for a long time, and he's a new caller. Let me see if he's still online. Yes, he is. Let me bring him on air to express himself. Hello. Good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you're calling from. Hello, can you hear me? He's not hearing. Doesn't seem to be hearing. Oh, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Your name and where you're calling from. Hear you. Go ahead, the world is listening. Hello. Go ahead, the world is listening.
Do you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead, the world is listening to you. Oh my. I said I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead, the world is listening. Just keep talking.
My name is Mazi. I'm calling from Onitsha.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, my brother. Sorry, we have to call back. We cannot be wasting time while other people are trying to get in. Hello?
Oh, hey, Biafra, my African rep.
Biafra will hear you.
I hope Thank you very much. IPOB, one family.
One family.
IPOB,
one family.
Big family. My name is Kisilo Osribo, calling from Morocco. My brother, I thank my leader, every principal officer, especially DOS, because a clear conscience, fear no accusations. That is me. You know, one thing I want to tell the whole world, what is going on now, it's an orchestrated plan. Right from 2017, this thing you see now happening, 2017, it started. Even the time our leader will be doing rally in Biafra land, our deputy will be continuing with brokers sometimes. I wonder, I said, no, what is going on? But now, you see, Nnamdi have said, how many are we? When that word come out, people doesn't know. He find something wrong, but he did not. He just give that adage for we. You know, those people that are mocking and coming out to sit at home or doing organ, this is the agent of the governors in the eastern region. Let us be honest. It's not because they are not paying any monthly due in Biafra land medicine. No. These people are being moving how to destroy. This IP will be better never. Remember, when this first Nnamdi arrest, the next action is coming to broadcast in Radio Biafra or not coming. That one was gone. It become of finance and this. That one have gone. Now, the same thing now is seeing this sit at home. We, all of us here, know where we belong to IPOB unit. I'm here. My people here in Morocco, they here, they will know and they know this. So, anybody that is coming to Facebook and is doing all this, you mark his face, you call the DOS, bring him down immediately, suspension. That's it. So let the rest take example of what is going on. If you did not take out on your unit, come and broadcast in Radio Biafra, you want to sell us to Nigeria. We will never manage that. And our leader can never do. If you do it, let that person go and sleep with him there. Because he's dangerous. This is freedom fighter. But those who died, we're going to wake them up. What killed them is the still investigation going on. We don't need to come and play with our life. Those guys, they are doing and fighting for these people.
Sorry for cutting you. I just want to address something. You know, right now, I as an individual, I am not of the opinion that the DS should just be suspending everybody that comes up with counter opinions and all of that. Yes. No, sorry, just hold on. Now, the thing is, because now it is not, there are many innocent people that can be coming up with counter opinions because the ideologies are flying everywhere. Until we are able to clear these ideologies and put things straight, people coming out to talk, because many of them are the same in their minds, and you don't just, because when you begin to use power in that manner, the people will even lose trust in you more, and you understand. So if
make it short, let me clear very very well. You know, most of them that come out to say that we never take any order from DOS except our leader, you know, that is apprehended. Man, these people are looking at something else. They are not among us.
There is nobody.
These people I'm going after.
There is nobody.
There are many.
Wait.
There are many.
Listen to me. People that say all these things, they say it on social media and all of that. There is nobody in our chain of command among the leadership structure to the grassroots that will come and be shouting that they cannot take order from the TS. I have not seen that. I don't think any of such. Many of the people that does these things that come out and say are probably maybe people that do not have offices, or people that are just saying their opinion. Okay, so
yeah,
most of the people, it's just like faces in the crowd. It is not anybody in the chain of command that will say that he's not taking order from the TS. Nobody does that.
These people, they are not wearing masks. They have face open. This is not a.
Do you know of anybody that have said that he's not going to take order from the TS?
Wow. That is the problem of all this kind of thing. When I ask them, I say, are you people are IPOB? What is the wrong with the US giving you order to do something?
Are they leaders? Are they leaders in this movement?
Look, my brother. There are many, even some of them that you be.
Wait first.
When our DOS.
Wait first now. Settle down. Are they leaders in this movement? That's the question I asked.
They are leader of their own. I don't show that these people are IPOB.
That is what I am telling you. Now we are saying the same thing. I am telling you that people that does these things are faces in the crowd. They are not in our structure. You understand? So it is not for us to begin to look at people that are gossiping all around and be looking for them to punish. Do you get my point now?
I'm not telling some of the IPOB members all over the world. They are seeing these people, and these people into their units. They are keeping quiet. And you understand, this is a problem. They should do something and let these people know that yes, we are in one command and control. This is the only way out. When we come to Biafra, we can live a democracy life. You understand? That is the thing. So people should be stopped by doing such as by biting, or anytime our leader come out, he will he still wants someone if is talking.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you very much. Based on time, there are other calls that are coming in. Let us take other calls.
On our way. Oh, hey, Biafra, keep it.
Biafra will heal it. Thank you very much. Okay, sorry we couldn't continue too long with that, and that call has taken long, and the call line is open, and those that are calling, be rest assured your calls will be taken if you call now. So I am not interested in getting to sanction this person or sanction that person, but the fact is that our people that are following this movement by heart know. They know who to follow. They know that Mazi Temi Remy is the reason we are all here. Mazi Temi Remy is the reason we are all here, and I believe this thing is something that can be defeated by normal discussion. It's not by using brute force. Okay, it is something that can be defeated by normal discussion. Okay. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from? Hello, can you hear me? Oh. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from?
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Kelechi calling from Senegal. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Go ahead,
yes,
Biafrans are listening.
Yes. You know, one of our brother, one of our brother from one of our broadcaster, he said, if you are not informed, that you'll be informed.
Exactly.
You know, some of our people, you understand? The problem the zoo got now, the problem they have is this our radio. That is the only problem the zoo have. The zoo cannot infiltrate us, they cannot divide us with this radio phone. And the people that are handling this radio, all of them that are exceptional. When any message they want to pass, they will break it down. So even a layman will understand what they are passing through. The message will pass through to every IPO members. So the problem the zoo is facing in this particular radio. That is why when Buhari is alive, he spend much money to make sure that this radio, that he bring this radio down. That is the problem. The nightmare of Nigeria is this radio. You know, the people that are acting, that are taking disobedience as obedience is some of our people who are not informed. They are not listening to radio. That's why the zoo, they shut everything down. The network there is very high. There is no radio. There's no light. There's no amenities that will enable you to get information. And when you are not informed, you'll be deformed. That's why the zoo remain like that. They don't want anybody to get information. That's why even the network that is even rampant in Western world, you cannot get it there in the zoo like that. The light, very difficult. They know with all these things now, you'll be totally informed. And when you are not informed, you'll be like Kalamajiri in the street.
Exactly.
So the problem of Nigeria is this radio. That is where their problem lies, on this radio. And the people that are giving us information is just like selected people. You can imagine you're breaking down this morning as you break that message down, and many of us are listening and we are digesting it. So some of our people who are not listening, some of them are people in the village. They only believe in extending messages. Please, today, what the Radio Biafra said, what are we going to do? You understand? They are not able to get that information directly. That's none of their problem. That is the problem. So these people now that are saying that they are not taking information from DOS. Okay, now DOS now have given you the first thought that this sit at home, that we will observe the sit at home. Then you agree. Now they have call it off again that there's no sit at home. Then he said no. Then to you now, which if maybe after this sit at home, what is your own strategy now personal? What do you have as a second? Because our leader said there is what we call a fallback position. In this particular strategy now you are going, this sit at home. Now after this sit at home, now what is your next strategy? Nothing. You don't have any other thing as a strategy to move on. You only just sit at home. That is why our people must listen to the DOS. This is the people that are, okay, now maybe if some of them are saying they want to follow Simon Ekpa. Okay, if Simon Ekpa now give you his own strategy now that okay, this is what we are going to do. Maybe at the long run he said no, let us go like this. He said no, you cannot follow him again, that he have compromised. You know, people must use their head, they must reason. They must reason. See, let me also tell them. This our brother Simon Ekpa, we love him. He can analyze quite right, we believe that. But let them not forget that this guy is a politician, and the politician is bound to do anything. From our leader to the ordinary member of Ipob, nobody is a politician. This guy is a politician. We love him, he's our brother, and he's a Biafran. There's no doubt, we know that. But let them bear in mind, this guy is a politician. The problem we are facing in Biafra land is problem of the politicians. They must know that a politician is always a politician. It doesn't matter. There is no way. Let them know this. There is no way on this planet that the zoo can infiltrate the whole leadership at once. Everybody, they infiltrate the whole home and abroad. They infiltrate all the whole leadership. They must know. They must use their brain. The possibility of the zoo infiltrating the whole leadership at once there is no possibility of that. So we must hearken the voice of the DOS. This is the people our leader laid down our leader laid down this structure, because at the long run something of this nature may take place. That's why he placed that structure of DOS. That when we find him maybe kidnap or arrest, DOS that structure he laid down will take effect. And right now, the structure he laid down have taken effect. They give us the first one now, sit at home, and they recorded what they want to achieve. They achieve it, and they say now wait, they are going to give us another strategy. Why black people we are very hard in hearing. Understanding is very difficult to us. We are following one way. Okay, after this one way, your one-way traffic now. What is your bus stop? Where are you going? What is your next strategy? You don't have, only sit at home. People must use their brain. They must listen. They must listen to DOS. This is the only people who have.
Thank you very much, my brother. Because of time, we may not be able to continue. Your point is very, very valid, and I believe our people have gotten the message. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, my brother. You're welcome. The lines are open, and you can call in and express your own opinion concerning what we are talking about. Okay, you can call in and express your opinion. The lines are open. There is somebody that I think he dropped a voice note. Maybe we might listen to that voice note first before another call comes in, or while we wait for another call to come in. We may have to listen to that, his voice note. Hello, good morning and welcome to Radio Biafra Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Chus. I'm calling from my location. Mazi, a very good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Okay. Mazi, let me say something. I just want to pick it from one point to the other, just to have my view shared. Our leader, where he is, DOS, you're a member of it. Does he have the right sense of what is happening to make a decision? Can he make a right decision where he is? That's my question to DOS. I wanted to ask this question during the other day of your sitting, and that's a question that might be answered by you or any other time. Then the second one is, Pastor Jack made a lot of things that I think we should look at by going and review, because they say where a child is crying and pointing his hand, there must be something there. Go back and review it. Then thirdly, I picked up from these people before I made my submission. Our brother just said something now. If you are sitting at home, so what is the next plan that you have? Because I look at this at home from the first time that it was announced. I was not really a fan of it. I was a fan of sitting at home and hitting Nigeria hard by making sure that Nigeria shut down. Not sitting at home, just go and sit at home. Nigeria has stolen enough money to sit at. You can sit at home for the next 1 year. They don't bloody care. They have stolen enough money to keep them. They keep you in coronavirus, share food that never gives to you. So sitting at home, what's the next plan? If somebody called me on the phone. I'm one of the principal officers where I am, and he was sharing this view to me. I asked this question that I'm about to ask now. I say, if this is revolution that is coming by rebellion, so be it. But if these people are the children of Aaron, when Moses said, "Let me go to the mountain," by the time he's coming back, Aaron has made himself a stool in order for them to watch it. If these are the rebellions that makes Aaron, Moses, to be angry and broke the 10 commandments, I hope it's not going to happen to our leader, because obviously it's going to come out. Then these people that are children of Aaron, they must be careful in what they do. If they decided to disobey leadership and disobey our leader, because that instruction is coming from our leader, indirectly or directly. But even if it's not the one, that's another of stand out. And if people understand what we are doing, we're into freedom fighting. And in freedom fighting, it's like army, police, which so many of us have been trained through Radio Biafra. And so many of us have been in the force before, in the police training and the rest of them. So you know what to stand down. But if you go against it, you're on your own. Then, if these people are on their own and doing these things, using their platforms in wherever, I don't watch it. I don't bloody care what people say. I just listen to Radio Biafra. And one or two times I check what is happening around the world. Otherwise, I'm not a fan. You go to my Facebook page, you never see all these irrelevant things. I only have to share what I get from Radio Biafra and some things that comes from a reliable source. Now, if these rebellious people are coming with their platform and saying this, Mazi, my African leader, I ask you this question. Does DOS have power? Do you guys have power? Because there is a place that power is missing. Mazi Okefori says, police, the army are mounting because our leader is not there. Does it have to do with our leader being there or not there, or he has already laid down a structure? If that structure is going to make our people to suffer more, because if the army and the police come to the street, it's going to be times 3 of what they were doing, because you said our leader is no longer there. Because somebody asked you that question. You say, yes, hey, they are doing this because our leader is not there. Then I ask you as a member of DOS, do you guys have power? If we have power, and our leader have laid a structure on the ground that there should be not be army and police intimidating our people, and it's going on that now is no longer there. And the people are going out there and having themselves, what do you call this nonsense election, advertising the election or whatever nonsense they call it.
Okay, let me come in now and see how I can respond to some of the things that you're saying. I will respond from the last things to the first. The question you asked is, does the DOS have power?
Yes.
Yes, the DOS have power, but if the people are in disarray and this one is moving this way, this one is moving this way, and trying to make it to be as if the house is not stable, you are going to be making the DOS not to be able to work. That is the reason I am doing this broadcast today. If you've spoken to me concerning this matter, you will know I purposely tried to avoid talking about this. I didn't want to talk about it. But I have seen that it is very important that we let our people understand the importance of unity. The strength of the DOS is our unity. That is the strength of the DOS. So if the DOS is to work and serve the people properly, then we have to be united. Just like you said, if you say stand down, you stand down. You say move, you move. That is the strength of the DOS. Because the DOS is the leadership of the body, and the strength of the DOS will be when that body is one and strengthened by that unity. Then our leader's order, whether he is in his right mindset or not, the first question you asked. I have not met our leader personally. I have not been to the DSS dungeon where he is to see him. The lawyers have been there. I have not spoken to any of the lawyers. I am not the type that jump my station and begin to call people. If you ask any of the lawyers, they will tell you I have never called them one day. You understand? Not because I don't have their numbers or I cannot get their numbers. The ones I don't have. It's not that I cannot get the numbers. Okay? But I can. But I have not tried to go and be jumping station and all that. If they have a message for me from our leader, they will reach out to me. They know how to get to me. So I don't have to go right there and do that. Now, the information, they gave the information to the head of the Directorate of States and all of that. And from what we have is that he is doing this in his right mindset. Now, whether he's doing it in his right mindset or he's not doing it in his right mindset, there's something that we have to take note of. One, it is on Mazi Temi who received this order. It is on him to make that choice, to say, okay, we have to continue, whether because of social reason, and debunk our leader's order and face the consequences. Or for him to take the order and also face the consequences if that order will lead us to destruction. He is the one that the order came to from our leader. Now, his decision is simple. He decided to take our leader's order, irrespective of whatever position our leader might have made that order. And he has passed it to us and has told us that, okay, we have to fly with this. Now, there is something we have to understand concerning leadership. Leaders take decisions. That is what makes you a leader. You take decision, and when you take decision, you will stand by that decision. When consequences hit, you will receive the consequences first before even the people. Or the consequences might even come from the people. Okay? So now, Mazi Temi has given this order. And in fact, it is because of the way people are asking questions. That is the reason explanations started coming up and saying that the order even came from our leader, because Mazi Temi announced it as an order coming from the TS. Good. So when if at all, God forbid, this order didn't go well, it is Mazi Temi that announced it, that is going to face the consequences. So, but what is most important in all of this, whether the order came and it was taken, or the order came and it wasn't taken, or the order didn't even come and it was manipulated and given, what is important is that we do not break our unity. We must remain one, irrespective. Because when we remain one, that is when we can defeat our enemy. It doesn't matter. Even if Temi that made that order is the enemy himself, provided we have one house, we will defeat him. but I don't think he is the enemy. But even if he's the enemy, if it even gets to that point that he's the enemy, if we remain one, then that enemy will be defeated, irrespective of who the enemy is or whatever position is handling. That is what I want our people to understand. But if we divide ourselves, let it now be that Chika Edozem is not the enemy, and he's doing what he's doing is actually the right thing. Then we allow these different opinions to get to us, and we now divide ourselves. We now make ourselves weak. The order that you're talking about, the strength of the Jews will not be found, because even when the Jews come up and even give an order, it will not be carried. Maybe when the house become divided, another faction comes up, that faction will be giving their own order. Then everything that we have will be destroyed. So that is the reason for us. We must first and foremost protect what we have. What we have is IPOB. What we have is the greatest freedom fighting movement all over the world, the largest and the greatest. We must guard that position jealously. We must never allow anything, emotions or whatever, to get into it. Thank you very much. That is my response.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, we have other callers that are calling, and I would like to give them the opportunity. Okay?
No problem. Thank you, man.
Thank you. So, the lines are open. Many people are calling, and even new people are calling. I've accepted you, and you have to know I've accepted you. You don't stop calling if you have not been able to talk. You can still call, and you can still call in and express yourself so that Biafrans and the world over will hear your expression. You see, that unity that we have gotten in IPOB is our greatest asset. That is what I want Biafrans to understand. Our unity is our greatest asset. We must never jeopardize it by emotions or any other thing. We must never jeopardize that unity. Let me take this call. This person has been calling. I'll take it, but I won't hear anything. Let me see. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you there? Can you hear me? Sorry, the network, his network is bad. His network is very bad. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Radio Biafra, Voice of the Coast. Your name and where you calling from?
My brother, good afternoon. My name is Andy. I'm calling from South Africa. How are you?
I'm doing very good, my brother.
Yes. The tension is too high. Eh? We are like a roller coaster going up and down, you know. So I don't know how the level of our PP this time around, you know. But I believe that God will. Sorry, a call come to my phone. What I want to talk about is about this sit at home. I want us to ignore it. You know, since the people have decided to be sitting at home, there's no need for us to be talking about it. The order has been given that the sit at home is cancelled, and people are busy going out sitting at home. So we should ignore it so that we don't end up looking irrelevant, you know. And also, another suggestion I can suggest is for the DOS to go in and discuss about it and tell our lawyer to approach our leader, because that vacuum cannot be left vacant like that. You know, since people are sitting at home, because the enemy can utilize it against us. So if our leader can agree and our the DOS can come back and say, no, the order is revised and the sit at home goes on, I think it will work in our own benefit. Since the people are refusing, to sit at. See, the people are refusing to see to suspend the sit at home. So we have to queue in. Because the DOS is the people, and the people is DOS. So, and another thing I want to talk about again is, this issue of flogging an issue too much. It is becoming too much. There's some things that will happen. It will require the leadership, to come out and make a statement and debunk whatever that is necessary to be debunked, or address whatever that is necessary to be addressed. Because once you leave it to linger, it becomes a problem. Like I'm talking about the issue of the salmon or whatever. So we should be up and doing, because the enemy, I believe that the enemy is attacking the structure of this organization. They are attacking it ferociously, So you have to be up and doing, addressing the things that need to be addressed, debunking the thing that needs to be debunked. This is the time for work, not the time to keep quiet. I can understand they have a mouthful, but at the same time, there should be someone dedicated, that will be addressing some issues, but not in a militant manner, but in a calm manner, because this time around, like as I like the suggestion that you made, that nobody should be suspended from the family. No, you can't add kerosene inside the fire, because this time the tension is high. You can't come out and suspend somebody. It doesn't make sense. So I plead to the DOS to always try and come out and debunk whatever they need to be debunked, and address the people regularly. It's the time, their presence is needed. So that is what I want to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. Okay, the lines are open, and those that want to contribute will still have the opportunity to do that before we call it a day for today's program. Okay. Concerning what he said, it's a good suggestion. Yes, it's true. Like I said earlier, I didn't want to talk about this because the order has been given. Whether the people take it or they don't take it, that one is their cup of tea and all of that. Flogging it so much is not important, but where I see it as a problem is people coming to social media and begin to talk about it and begin to make jump over and over and over and over about this particular matter. That is where I have issues with it, because we cannot begin to fight ourselves and be having a divided house. Okay? As per taking this matter back to our leader, of course, the executive of the TS, I believe they are doing that, taking the matter back to our leader, because it is obvious. But whether the sit at home will be called off or not, I do not see that coming. But my personal opinion is not for it, whether it will be called off or not, is for another option to be given to our people. Because it is obvious our people want to do something. Our people just want to do something to ensure, as in just to do something. Let it not be like they didn't do anything and our leader is actually languishing in DSS dungeon, and everybody is as if everybody is going to sleep like nothing is happening and all of that. Our people actually wants things to be done. So that is what I think, and I just think there should be an option to replace the sit at home, to make our people feel like, yes, they are contributing something to freeing our leader from DSS dungeon or from the captivity of the zoo government. Without any other calls coming in, this we shall be calling it a day for today. I want to thank each and every one of you that has contributed one or two to today's program, to see to it that this message is driven and it is driven with wisdom and understanding. Thank you very much, and God bless you. This is Radio Biafra, Voice of the Coast, and I'm your host. Come away, Temi Remy.
Instant security, you see any can all. Then change Biafra, you see any can all. If it's all for me, I need a weapon. Anobukini kaina nuzi, dami anonoso. Obukini kaina nuzi, dami anonoso. Obukini kaina kazi fed, dami anonoso. Onya bana waga kanodu, onya bana waga kanodu, onya bana waga kanodu. Obukini kaina nuzi, dami anonoso. Obukini neme nolu, dami anonoso. Obukini neme nunimo obodo, dami anonoso. Obukini neme nolu, dami anonoso. Chukwuti kapia mai, amama siamasi, ay mani nonolu. Isike nolo makie, ogi kelai. Isike nolo makie, ogi kelai. Obukini kaina nuzi, dami anonoso. Obukini kaina nuzi, dami anonoso. Kedifene menolu, dami anonoso. Obukini kaina kosi, dami anonoso. What did you back in the moon? And checking is your hamadike. Sit na megano. If in the meadow, Lukianya, if in the meadow, Lukianya, all in a Lukianya, all in a Lukianya. Sit na the Kanu. You see, we can all over here. So you know, we see can all over here. You very. You see can all over here. You never get any man. Hey, I really go to very boy. Obiabawa na very busi munai. Bibi ke jene. Na bibi ke jene. Na bi ejebe. Busi zienu nda mi ufo Jonathan Johnathan brother mo. Nepuge kumelanu, ekwanu ki no belu ti okuko tike na nife ni dofe. Akambukwa nwanunu nwoke, Samuel Nwanaga, ogadiri nu namba, wedikwaru mo. Umuchukwu kika biama, Eurofobia igenweta ife na job, brother mo. Thank you, I'm to your brother Samuel.
Biafra has risen, the land of a rising sun. Forward forever for a better change.
I sing a song about the Biafra land. The war we are fighting is getting to an end. If we fail our chances, we can't escape our sufferings. IPOB members must fight this war to an end.
Rise, Africans! Biafra has risen! The land of the rising sun! Forward forever! For a better change!
I sing a song about the Biafra land. The war we are fighting is getting to